ties between India and Canada witnessed a major downturn on Monday as India expelled 6 Canadian diplomats and announced withdrawing its High Commissioner Sanjay Verma from Canada. This happened after Canada leveled allegations suggesting that the Indian High Commissioner and other diplomats are persons of interest in a matter related to an investigation into the killing of Khalistani extremist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused India of choosing to use its diplomats and organised crime to attack its citizens and make them feel unsafe on their soil, calling it a monumental mistake by New Delhi. Trudeau said that the US has noted a similar pattern from India concerning an attempted extrajudicial killing. However, the US State Department has not made any comments so far.
But with this assassination, I should tell you that things have escalated pretty much because the Canadian side, and I think it is quite rare for any world leader to actually go into their parliament and say that, well, we have credible allegations of this country's involvement in this assassination. I think that is pretty serious. I mean, I'm sure the Canadian government weighed its options, and I think this was a last resort move. Whatever evidence they may have, we don't know. Because this morning also when the RCMP held a presser, they said that there are some people who they want to prosecute, or at least question, if not prosecute, with regard to the assassination.
Each country continues to take the same position toward the other and not be willing to make any concessions on it, right? India's position is that Canada is essentially sheltering and sponsoring anti-India terrorists, whereas Canada's position is that India is undertaking acts of transnational repression repeatedly and continuously on Canadian soil. These are obviously both extremely serious allegations to make, and neither side is backing away from them. And that doesn't leave much space for, looking for off-ramps to try to reduce tensions.
India dismissed the allegations as absurd and politically motivated. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said that it reserves the right to take further steps in response to the Trudeau government's support for extremism, violence and separatism against India. Khalistani separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar was gunned down in Surrey, British Columbia in June last year. The relations between India and Canada came under severe strain following Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's allegations in September last year over potential involvement of Indian agents in the killing of Nijjar.
Yes, I mean, this has kind of been building for over a year. Canada and India have been at it. Last September, Trudeau outright accused the Indian High Commission of being part of the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who's the leader of the Khalistani Tiger Force, which should be a listed terrorist organization in Canada, as it's an offshoot of the Barbar Khalsa, which blew up the Air India Kanishka bombing, the biggest terrorist attack in Canadian history.
Experts believe that while restoring ties between India and Canada may be difficult, there are possible paths forward.
I think that you could look at some potential confidence-building measures. I mean, if you look at where the relationship has worked in recent years, there has been an increase in trade, and you've had significant levels of business relations. Maybe you could hope that there could be some efforts to try to bring business community leaders together to talk about how to move the relationship forward through more trade and investment, even if you have problems on the diplomatic side. You have people-to-people ties in this relationship that are very strong because of business cooperation, because of the Indian diaspora in Canada, because of the very large number of Indian students who are in Canadian universities. I think that very strength of the relationship, people-to-people ties, perhaps that's the way to try to slowly get things back on track.
The diplomatic tensions between India and Canada have so far not impacted the bilateral trade in goods between the two countries, think tank GTRI said on Monday. However, it added that as this dispute drags on, both nations will need to carefully manage their actions to avoid a full-blown economic fallout.